Brought to you by...
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Embrace the Film, where today we continue our Christmas season celebration with the infamous Santa slasher, whose horrific twist on Yuletide themes sent hundreds of angry mothers screaming to the nut house. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Now try and survive Christmas. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
This film follows young Billy, who, after being freshly traumatized by his grandpa, gets the distinct pleasure of watching his parents get murdered out on a snowy roadside by a twisted madman dressed in a Santa costume. Following this, we get to see just how much Billy's life sucks, while we spend some of his later youth alongside him growing up in an orphanage run by a strict and chastising nun that basically attempts to beat the mental illness out of him. Finally, we land in present day. Billy gets himself a job at a local toy store, where his boss coerces him into dressing up as Santa Claus. Needless to say, Billy snaps, and violence ensues. This was one of those films that exploded with controversy before it even released to the masses. Parents took to the streets with outrage that the filmmakers would dare to take a childhood icon like Santa Claus and reduce him into an axe-wielding maniac. Sure, technically young Billy isn't really Santa, however, parents didn't see it that way. By their logic, a child wouldn't know the difference when seeing the commercials, and the studios were just tainting the visage of a beloved childhood character. They hated this idea so much that they boycotted the film at every turn, holding protests outside their local theaters, and I even heard stories of people trying to break into the projection booths in order to destroy the film. I know, it's hard to imagine in the times that we currently live in, people caring so much about any one thing, that they would be willing to do just about anything in the name of their cause. On that same note, it's hard to believe that something as simple as a scary Santa could be the subject of such controversy. I personally love this film. I think the concept of an axe-wielding Santa is nothing short of genius. And obviously, judging by the amount of homicidal Kringles we've seen up until this point, I don't think I'm that far off. There's just something about Father Christmas brandishing a blood-soaked axe as he stalks some hapless nitwit through their secluded home that's simply visually appealing. The performances in this one are far from great. From start to finish, we are met with overly cheesy depictions of mostly cookie-cutter characters, not so surprisingly considering that this is a very low-budget film from 1984 that was conceived as a response to the overwhelming success of John Carpenter's Halloween. Studios at that time realized that he had opened up the doors to a whole new marketable avenue. Any holiday could now be twisted to fit the horror genre, so therefore, every holiday was up for grabs. From a technical standpoint, this film doesn't work all that well, or make a whole lot of sense. Its editing and, by extension, its pacing caused the film to suffer quite a great deal by today's standards. Much of the film feels jam-packed with just about every idea that the filmmakers could come up with, which actually causes it to fit more snugly into the exploitation genre than anywhere else. As a result, we get a film that is wildly outrageous, characters that range from utterly distasteful to completely off the wall, and if you're a fan of horror exploitations, a highly entertaining gem in the history of the genre. Which is why, this year, I'm gifting Silent Night, Deadly Night a B+. Sure, this isn't a film that showcases the gold standard of filmmaking. Its frames hold many flaws. most that can't be overlooked. However, this is one that made a mark for itself right out of the gate, and will forever be remembered by fans of the horror genre for the stir that it caused among the masses. It was the first to introduce a new concept to the industry that stood its ground against the backlash of thousands, and has spawned dozens of imitations and reimaginings over the years. For me, this will always be one that deserves the recognition that it has fought so hard for. It's a very fun and entertaining slasher flick for the right audience. But that's all for today, friends. As always, if you've seen this one, please feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't, and you're an avid horror fan like me, this is one I feel is mandatory viewing, at least once in your lifetime. If you enjoyed today's video, please feel free to let me know. It's just a quick scroll down there to that comment section below. If you're enjoying the channel more than words can describe, shoot me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. If you'd like to show your support even more, come find ETF on Patreon or Tippy, where every pledge and every tip brings you rewards galore. Not to mention allowing me to bring you more films to explore. But all jokes and rhymes aside, if you have any films that you would like me to check out, or that you might like to see reviewed on this channel, feel free to reach out to me here down in the comments, or over on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.